between Republicans and Democrats is one that is quite terrible in this country. You have Republicans who are seen as crotchety old white men who are always sitting around complaining about how Democrats are ruining this country, and they're seen as racist and homophobic. Well, you have Democrats who go against everything that the Republicans see, and also what seems to be like they're just rebellious against the Republicans and what the country was. When really, those stereotypes are not always true with some people. Republicans are seen more as pro-life when it comes to abortion, and Democrats are seen as pro-choice. When there are Republicans who are pro-choice, and there are Democrats who are pro-life. Really, these stereotypes between both parties is just ridiculous in how it plays out. And really, it becomes into these childish arguments that get nowhere, really. They really get nowhere. One of the things is President Obama dealing with weapons of mass destruction over in Iran. And him talking about with them was something that the Republicans did not like. So they sent a letter over to Iran saying that you should not agree with whatever Obama says. To me, that's completely ridiculous. Basically, I feel like Iran's being hammered with these things in this argument. And do they even, like, if the president can't even agree with members of Congress about what's going on here, I don't think Iran's going to see us, a country, as being really together as much. Because really, sometimes I feel that our country is seen as one that's not together, one that's constantly arguing over the same things, and one that can't agree on anything. When sadly, that's sometimes the case of how it works. But really, the country really right now is at a point where it needs to just find things that they can come to an agreement with, and that when a decision is made, they need to not always complain and always blame people for the decision. They just need to come to agreement that the decision was made, and they need to kind of get over it, per se. So, okay, I've got to add this little thing. So we made a video. Okay, backtrack. Don't delete any of this. I'm just going to edit it out. So, one of the things was the what was it? Dang it. I lost my train of thought. What's the thing? So State of the Union. Yeah. Okay. One of the things recently was the State of the Union that Obama was speaking in, and you had Joe Biden behind him, giving these finger guns a bunch of people, and clapping whatever Obama said. And then you had John Boehner sitting there, really grumpy face, just sitting there not agreeing with what Obama likes. Really, John Boehner does not like Obama at all. He doesn't agree on much of the things he says. And John Boehner is seen as one of those hardcore Republicans. Also, Obama stating that if anything were to come to pass through him, anything against Obamacare, he would immediately veto it. That is a little ridiculous. That's a little cocky in his stance, basically just taking a jab at Republicans. And Democrats, woo, clapping away when that came in. And Republicans just sitting there, I don't agree with this. And then some things, even Republicans are like, yeah, Democrats are like, why would he say that? I thought he was Democratic with us. It gets ridiculous at this point that once someone even gets to one side a little bit, they immediately just want to argue about it. And nothing really gets, no one wants to hear any other person's opinions. At this point, it's just getting ridiculous. And right now, America needs to find a way to come together with many major issues and find agreements on them and or be okay with the decision that's made. So, we're going to go into something called Analogies with Brogan.
People who think a lot of this is really complicated, and essentially it's not. Okay, let's say I've got, just for representative purposes, I've got this coin. This coin represents what the people want. Not people, but Republicans want it and Democrats want it. Let's say you have two really right side and left side people come into a room, and they will both find a way to argue about it. So say Republicans say, I want this coin. Well, the Democrats say, well, what if I want this coin? And then they start passing bills over who can have it and who gets it. And essentially, the coin never changes places because they're both so busy arguing over it that it never moves. It just stays right here in its exact same spot.
That is exactly the point that we were trying to get across here. Of what exactly happens. Through argument, nothing gets done. At all. I mean, eventually, like back when the Constitution was made, when they made the difference between Virginia plan and the New Jersey plan, they came to a compromise. And guess what? This compromise has been working now, and still it works to date. And it's really, the America needs to find agreements on a lot of things. Nothing gets done. We never really achieve anything. So now we're going to go into a little reenactment video involving Hillary Clinton and her husband Bill Clinton, played by me. Bear in mind, it's kind of crappy. Involving what Hillary Clinton's kind of scandal with her emails are like and how Republicans are acting in this way. Now we're moving into time with Talks with Rachel. Go ahead and state your opinions on everything that's been talked about recently.
Well, I think the big thing here with like the Iraq sending the letters, it represents our country in a bad light. Like if we can't get along inside our own country and we're showing that to other countries, it makes us look weak. And that doesn't help with like all the stuff going on with like terrorism and everything bad happening.
Makes us look not together,
Mm-hmm.
not united. The United States of America isn't really united. We're a two-party system that's very separated
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of issues.
Yeah. We need to start just agreeing on what's best for the people instead of always having to be right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem we're having right now.
Thank you, Rachel. Join us again on next week's show where we talk about drugs in this country. Okay, you're good.